Behind this immense vehicle over here is me. This is the Volvo XC90 T8 Inscription, a PHEV, a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So this one has a battery engine and has a petrol engine buried under here. So it's a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, a little bit of everything. But it's also one of the biggest cars I've driven in a long time. This is a tank of a yoke. This car is about as luxurious as you're going to be able to get on the market in Ireland. I mean, to be able to order straight away. This is Bentley levels, Rolls-Royce levels of luxury interior. I know that sounds really weird for me to say that about Volvo, not always seen as a luxury brand, but I can absolutely positively tell you this is as luxury as you're going to be able to get in Ireland for sure. And as I say, this is part of an electric car series. You will see a tag for that up here in the corner of the screen. If you're interested, it's just a playlist of all the cars I've reviewed so far that are fully electric or a plug-in hybrid, like the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV and so on. I'm going to add this to the list as well. This is, like I said, part of a series on YouTube. It's important that you watch the whole series. Don't just judge the first car you see that's in it, because the whole series actually breaks the cars down into bite-sized chunks. So let's break this one down. We're going to have a look at the interior front seat first. So come with me. The interior of the XC90 is outstanding. Absolutely beautiful. There is no better word for it. You've got gorgeous wood trimmed finish here, which is just little tiny sections of wood that are all, you get a splinter of this. It's absolutely gorgeous, fitted together perfectly. It has this contrasted, we'll say three-tone, but it's two-tone, black and white at the bottom, but then this brown line in the center of it that gives that wood finish. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's no better word for it than that. It is soft and squidgy in the right places. It is firm and responsive in others, and you have that wood trim that if you knock your finger against at any point, absolutely gorgeous. The glove box here opens with a button here. It opens very slowly. Great big storage unit in there. You've got huge cup holders here, an extra square thing. Could be a third cup holder, I'm not too sure. It's a funny shape. You got a 12-volt socket in here. In the front of that, then you have another sort of a curved unit. I think it might be, it looks like it's designed to hold something particular, but I can't quite work out what that is. Under here, you've got two USB ports, top marks where there should be, and another large cubby hole in there too. Door pockets, door bins are large and can hang any cup you want that's in there too. In the center console, so up the top here is a speaker actually at the front here, which gives this surround sound to it. It's not a very high up spec one, but it's good. It's very, very good, but it's not like the top spec one that you get in the UK. In the center here I have a center console, this thing here, which is a bit like an iPad or something similar to that effect. It's not an iPad, but something similar to that effect. You swipe right and left and you can go into different settings, millions of different settings in the car. But the center one, the easy one to use, has just got all the stuff you actually need on it and nothing more. There is, unfortunately, touchscreen controls for the heating buried in this system. I don't like them. I'm back to the thing. They're not haptic. They don't give any feedback. They're quite fiddly to use and touch. You slide your finger up and down the temperature as well. I would prefer, if that wasn't in there, I prefer if that was here. I know I love the Swedish clean design down here, but really a couple of knobs down here wouldn't make a whole lot of difference to the whole thing. Seating position. These seats are the Inscription seats you get in Ireland. There is actually higher spec seats than these. These don't offer great lateral support. I find myself kind of swimming in the seat a little bit, and I don't really like that too much. They are comfortable. Just when you're turning in, and this thing is a tank on the road, when you're turning into a corner at any sort of pace and the car gives a small lean, you find yourself just swinging around in these seats a little bit. The steering wheel, double contrasted, black rim on the outside, white rim on the inside, very pretty. Not too sure how well the old white trim will age over time as you're sitting here using. You can use a bit of leather cleaner, of course, get it clean. Very clear controls here. This is stereo, the operation of the stereo. It's on the right side because this car would normally be made on that side. Anyway, fast forward and volume is there on one side. Then you have more controls over the screen here in front of you, which I'll look at in a second. And then active cruise control is on this side, and lane keeping and distance control, that sort of stuff. Then you have very clear open the boot button and open the petrol cap button on that side. and that's all of your control. So it's not lacking anything. It's just laid out in a way that you use the car. That's what Volvo say. It's laid out in that nice way. There is a knob for volume control. I should point that out. Not all the knobs are gone. Some are gone. Down the center here, you have this crystal unit that is unique to the Inscription ones. It lights up at night time, so your gear knob is lit up. It's kind of rude sounding, isn't it? Park button is right behind that. You have actually got 4 on this, so you got reverse, neutral, drive, and B, which is the regenerative braking. You do have to, instead of going back and just going into D, you have to go 1, 2 to go back into D. It's weird. Start stop engine is a switch that goes left and right. Then you have drive mode knob here, which is kind of fiddly, and then the handbrake, and then the start stop system. And that's all the controls. That's it. If everything else is buried in a menu somewhere in here, if you want to get at anything else, turning things on and off and park assist and all that sort of stuff, really straightforward. Beautiful, commanding position you sit in here. They've obviously learned an awful lot from the other luxury car makers. It is a pure luxury feel, and I absolutely adore it in here. It is number one. Buy it in the morning, no problem whatsoever. It's a little on the pricey side, but other than that, it's good. Now, before we go any further, let's look at the next row of seats, and then there's another row of seats to look at. So let's start with the middle one. Right, back seat. That seat was set up for me. As you can see, there is a fist and a bit between my knees and the back of that seat. Tons of room. Absolutely bags of this stuff. This is all hard plastic down here, which I quite like. That's not detracting things. It's not hard plastic, but it makes it very easy to clean. So if any feet are touching these bits and pieces here, you just wipe it down with a baby wipe or a cloth or something, and it's all done. So entertainment values, I have a screen back here that allows me to be able to control the heating for this seat and that seat separately, so dual zone. There is one 12-volt socket back here, no USB ports. Disappointed in that part. There should be 2 USB ports back here for the rear passengers. There is built-in that's hard. That goes back like a there is built-in blinds back here if you want to have those attached. There is quite large gaps on both sides. They don't quite fit. You have your own vent here and your own vent here. You have it at the net in the back of the seat. You can open your window. There's a small speaker in the door. There's more wood trim back here and a little coat hanger. So it's got all of the kind of good stuff. We actually have a glass roof as well in this one. It's controlled from up the front. We do that while we're driving. Now, here's the bugbear. I have to get into the back seat. The back dim seats back there. A whole different ball game. This does, sorry, I should have said, this also does have an armrest here in the middle with 2 little shallow cup holders in it, which is quite nice. No ski loading facility. I mean, no hole through that because there's more seats back there. Let's see if I can climb into the back seats, right? Let's see how hard it is. I'll do it live, right now. Live, right in front of your face. How do you do this? Pull this, do you? Okay. Now, how do I have to climb over the top of that? Why do I have to climb over the top of that to get in there? That looks really awkward. That can't be right, can it? Surely that slides forward. No, I seem to be taking out the whole seat now. Volvo, what were you thinking? This is... Oh, right. No, bow that down as well. So, okay, it slides forward. Got you. I'm with you. Then you pull this bit. Aha! Hold on. I've worked it out, I think. Right, so that's the seat in normal position. Then I catch hold of this and I pull that forward, and it slides very slowly. Very difficult to slide that forward. And then you climb into the back row, right? Right. Now. Seat's in the wrong place now. The seat did not have to return to where it should have been. Look at this gap. That's awkward. That's awkward. Can't say anything else about it. It's also filthy and slippy. Jesus. You kill yourself getting in out of that thing. You didn't think that one through, Volvo, did you? Too well. That's difficult access. You would get used to it, make no mistake. I've only had the car for a couple of days. I haven't got used to that whole idea yet. I reckon you would get used to it very quickly over time. But right now I do find that a little bit awkward to use. Okay, so leaving the back seat for a minute and the back seats for a minute, you have a electric tailgate, of course. You wouldn't want to get your hands dirty. As you can see, my stuff all fits in here with all 7 seats up. There's plenty of room in here. There is actually more room underneath there, should you need it, and a little granny cable in here as well for charging your vehicle. There's also this flip-up thing, which I can't quite work out what that's for, but it's there. It gives you more options. You've got shopping bag hooks, 2 of, a first aid kit, and a 12-volt socket here as well. You can drop this seat by pressing that, and it just drops flat. So it's very easy. Now, getting it back up is not as straightforward. You have to go into the car in that side to flip them up again. But dropping them from here is pretty straightforward. The little headrest disappears, and you've got a completely flat floor. This space is very, very big, and I mean, you're going just as close to van space with the 5 seats up. Now, if I drop the other seats in the front, you are getting up on commercial size, a van basically after that. Note, if you have the tonneau cover in, which I had earlier on in the back, and you have the 7 seats up, you just take the tonneau cover out and you may just leave it in the garage then. There isn't a place in here to put it securely. It has to stay at home, and so you're without a tonneau cover after that. Putting those seats back up is it means coming in here. You do it from this side. It is a bit awkward because you have to do a lot of other maneuvering to get them back up. As you can see, it involves pulling other seats, and then you pull the headrest up and it's done. So you do that again the other side. That's fiddly, but you're not often going to do this seats up and down stuff the whole time. You're more than likely going to leave this in 5-seat mode or 7-seat mode most of the time. So it works for those reasons. 3-point seat belts, of course, in the rear, as always with Volvo. They invented them. And safety systems are throughout the car. Right, now we've had a look around the interior. We're going to have now a drive around of the car itself. So let's drop the tailgate and get it. Oh, worth a mention, meant to say that to you. You can lock the car from the buttons here. So you've got 2 buttons, one just for closing the boot and one to close the boot and lock the car. That's actually much more convenient than you think it is. And this has the wavy thing. You wave your foot to open it. I think it's a lot of nonsense, but sure, it's on a lot of cars these days. So you're supposed to wave your foot and it opens the boot, right? Sometimes you look like an idiot standing there waving your foot. Other times you don't. Ooh. There it goes. Handy, you don't want to touch anything. You're carrying something back to the car first, carrying it back. Oh, it's so heavy. Oh, it's very heavy. And then you just get under and boof, into the bin. There you go. Just press the button now and close the door and walk away. That's it. You're done. Deadly, isn't it? Let's go. So what's it feel like to drive the most luxurious brand that I can find in Ireland? It feels luxurious. I mean, this feels on a different level of luxurious, but it does feel like a bloody tank on the road. It's fantastic. Like, get out of my way, poor person, comes springing into mine straight away, because that's exactly how you feel in the car. It's immense. Now look, if you're not into a big car, if you're not good at parking large long cars, you're going to have trouble with this one. This does have active parking. It'll park itself, but it's still like you go, oh my god, am I going to make it under that 2-meter barrier because it feels so tall and it feels so big. But you do get a big burbly petrol engine in it as well, which is very nice when you're driving along, because it comes on, and when it does, it mixes both electric and petrol to give you torque on a level that is hard to describe. I think you would struggle to keep up with this under most circumstances. It's very rapid, but it's immense. I can't explain to you the size of the car. It's huge. It doesn't feel massive in the corners, but that lateral support in the seats is a problem when you're driving through roundabouts quite a lot, as there is a lot in Portlaoise. So the petrol and hybrid thing, listen, this yoke is rapid. Now, it's not massively, hugely torque, like fire you back in the seat rapid, but it's rapid. It gets where it's going and does it with business. It's not a rewarding drive. I know it's hard to explain, but it doesn't reward you by being really active and fun to drive and stuff. But on the cruise, when you're just burbling along with that petrol engine doing its job. Beautiful, beautiful. Hybrid electric does well. It does when you charge it up, and when you remember to charge it up, but you don't have to because it's PHEV. But when you remember to charge up, it does a really, really good job at running along on electric only, and does a great job at shuttling the kids to school and the short burst stuff. The little run, like my kids go to school in Portlaoise, it's not a massive commute for the kids in the morning. That's why we've done that, and this works at that perfectly. And yet the size of the car is the thing. You see, you can do your little commute back and forward, but you can take 6 passengers with you and be on all electric. If you have a charge point at the other end, of course, you can charge it up to bring it home. Petrol tank is actually sizable enough. I think it's 70 litres now. I wouldn't quote me on that. I checked this morning. They had a smaller fuel tank in the original one. I don't know if this got a bigger one, but I'm doing a 3/4 tank. I could do another 400 kilometers in this car, and it's very reactive. So any little tremble on the accelerator pedal, and it takes that into account. It's always trying to recoup power. There is some drive modes. I can click on a mode here. I can go constant all-wheel drive if I want, if it's like, snowing or rain or mud or whatever outside. There's pure. It's called eco drive. Don't know if that means you go further on electric, or it uses the electric more often and tries to stay off the petrol engine as much as it can. Doesn't really make it very clear as to what pure is, but it tries to be an electric car as much as it can. Let's put it that way, right? We have hybrid, which I've left it in basically all the time. Hybrid is everyday use, is what it says. And then you have power for sporty drive, which suits Clarkson down to the ground. Power written on the screen here in front of me. And then there's off-road setting, which can only be used when the car is stopped, and then you have to be going below a certain speed for it to be in off-road mode. I've left it basically in the everyday hybrid mode the whole time. I have no need or desire to change it to anything else. It doesn't really do a whole lot to me one way or the other. I think the hybrid setting is just beautifully balanced. The car feels like a tank. It feels like a Volvo. It feels fantastic. This is definitely competing for the top slot of what I desire as a car. The drawback of that desire is this comes with a hefty price tag, which it's not cheap. Let's put it that way. You're not going to get good and cheap in the same package anyway. This is definitely not cheap, but it is outstandingly beautiful. The interior is outstandingly well made. The whole car responds beautifully to every little push on the throttle. It is a beautiful machine to behold. I begrudge anybody being able to buy the bloody thing because it's absolutely gorgeous. If this is what Volvo is at, if this is Volvo's effort to start getting rid of the diesel engine cars, I'm with it. This is as good as it gets for me. I'm very happy in this car. 2 single downsides: the seats aren't supportive enough, and the touch screen for the heating controls is bothersome. I think you'd get over it, but it's bothersome. It annoys me anyway. Right, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully by now you've hit the subscribe button. I really need all the subscribers I can get. It's been a fantastic journey with electric cars, and it continues in the playlist that appeared at the top of the screen there. Check it out. Go through all the electric car choices you've got in the market. There is more to come, obviously. It is comprehensive at the moment, but it's not finished. So get in touch with me, Jaguar, will you? For God's sake, find out where there's an I-Pace. And many other cars that are coming to the market as well. You can join me every Sunday, which is today, believe it or not, at 2 p.m. GMT on this channel for the Sunday service, which is a live, around about 2-hour stream. It's getting a bit longer these days because there's so many people watching it. About 2,000 or so people join me live every Sunday to listen to the Sunday service and watch it. So you can watch it live, you can listen to it back as a podcast. We sometimes get together in real life and meet up and go to Midway and places like that to have a cup of coffee and chat about things in real life. But normally the Sunday service is there. A great quote from John, a very good driving instructor. I saw it this morning. He said, every Sunday I wake up and I think it's like old Top Gear is about to come back on the television. So it's like that on a Sunday. It's a real get-together stuff. So you can join me every Sunday, like I say, on this channel. Hit the subscribe button. If you click the bell icon, you get a little notification when it goes live. But I tried to put up the thing before. It doesn't matter. It's one of them things. It'll happen or it won't happen. But Sunday service is where it's at the moment. Tons more reviews to come and tons of old reviews to watch. I think there's 600 and something videos on this channel now, so plenty to watch. So hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask for. But if you can support the channel financially, brilliant. PayPal links, Patreon links are down below in the comments bit. You can support it there. Anyway, whatever happens, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, I will see you on the far side.